Hi, I'm Melanie Royals with Royal Design Studio and Modella Designs, and I'm here to show you how you can use Etchall etching cream combined with Modella decorative masking patterns to create beautiful patterned effects on glass and mirrored surfaces. Etchall etching cream actually what it does is it creates a chemical etch on the surface of the glass or mirror. It's different from sandblasting. Sandblasting is actually a process where you use a compressor and a high pressure to force an aggregate like sand or pumice through a nozzle onto the glass surface. What that actually does is it removes part of the glass surface. It etches into the glass, and you can even, if you do it hard enough, it will carve into the glass. The etching cream, on the other hand, really what it does is it just frosts the surface. So when you feel it, you're not going to feel any recessed area. It remains, flat on the surface, but it bites into the surface of the glass just enough that it creates a frosted look. And the nice thing is it will create this kind of a matte frosted look that is fingerprint proof, so you won't see fingerprints on it either. Some of the tools and materials that you're going to need to do the glass etching are obviously the etching cream. I've got some glass and mirror. I'm going to show you both glass and mirror samples today. The etching cream itself is applied with a squeegee or some type of a trowel or application tool. This is the Etchall squeegee. You can see it's pretty small, so it's going to be better for small surfaces. And some other tools that you can use to apply the etching cream are the color shaper. This is very nice because it's soft and flexible. I use one of these Tough Coat trowels, the white rubber trowels, sometimes for smoothing out or also for removing the etching cream. And something like this for larger projects that's a flexible trowel or a blade is very good because this will help you kind of really smooth it out, which is important when you're doing the etching cream. Otherwise, you're going to want to wear gloves. You're going to always want to work anything with a chemical. It's a mild chemical, but it is still a chemical. You want to have good ventilation, wear gloves, and then sometimes, again, for larger projects, you might even have a large dustpan that you're going to scrape off the etching cream into when you're ready to remove it. And then you want to have water source and a sponge. And you can also use baby wipes sometimes to get off some of the residue. So I'm going to be showing you all of these as we go along. And let's get ready to etch. The first thing we're going to do is clean our glass so that we can then install the Modella pattern on it. So I'm just going to be using rubbing alcohol for this. You can use any good glass cleaner. I just like the rubbing alcohol because it evaporates very quickly. And you want to use a good quality paper towel. I'm using Bounty. You don't want a paper towel that shreds a lot. It's going to leave residue on your glass. And alternatively, you can use like a microfiber cloth. Those work well also. I'm just going to worry about this side of the glass because this is the side that I'm going to be applying the pattern to right now. Okay, so with the Modella patterns then, what they are is one-time use vinyl that is cut in the shape of the pattern that you want. We actually have thousands of patterns available that can all be custom sized and cut to order. And this happens to be one of our tile designs that's cut to fit this 12-inch square. What it is, it's actually, the vinyl is on a backing sheet, like a carrier sheet. This is thick waxed paper. After the vinyl is cut, either the positive area, the design itself, or the negative space is removed, and what you're left with your masking pattern. So in this case, this pattern is what we call a negative weed because the negative space has been removed. The design itself remains as a mask. So regardless of what your pattern is, positive or negative, the first thing you're going to do before you start any project is use the squeegee that we include with your every Modella order, and you're going to burnish this really well. So I'm pressing very hard, and I'm going to do this on both sides. And what this does is it actually forces the transfer tape, which is the more translucent tape that's put on top of the pattern, to hold everything in place so that you can remove the backing paper and install the adhesive side on your surface. So I want to make sure that the transfer tape is bonding very well to the vinyl so that the backing paper comes off easily. And what I'm doing here is, I'm not going onto the surface yet, I'm doing what we call a pre-release. So what that is I just peel back this carefully, just halfway. So you want to be careful, so like if any part of the vinyl wants to come with your backing paper, you want to push that down. So you want to do this slowly. We make sure that the vinyl is staying where it should, and then just roll that back gently. And then we'll do the other side. Okay, so here's another little piece where the vinyl's sticking. Sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. But you want to just be careful, assume that it could happen at any time, so just don't go ripping your backing paper off. You might, stress out your vinyl and tear it or stretch it. So, okay, so that's been pre-released. Now what I'm going to do is bring my glass back here. And the way that these are actually installed on the surface is you want the backing paper side down. So the transfer tape side is up. You can see the pattern lightly through the transfer tape. So the backing paper side is down. And because that's the side, once you pull that off, that's going to expose the adhesive. So that's why you want that to be down. You want to get it centered where you want it, aligned where you want it. Now this is a little different kind of installation because it's on instead of a wall, a flat, larger surface, it's actually on a sheet of glass. So I'm going to do something a little bit different than I normally do. What I'm going to do is take the tape and run it across the center. Okay, then I'm going to take all of this and turn it upside down. So this allows me, you can see that it extends out a little bit just because of the way that we cut the patterns. There's always a little 1/8 inch trim line so that our production department can cut it square. So I'm going to visually center this and then bring this tape around and then flip it over. Grab some scissors. Okay, so run the tape down the center. So this is secure. The idea is that you don't want the pattern to move while you're installing it. You get it where you want it, and then you make sure that it stays there. Now I'm peeling the backing paper off. Remember, I pre-released it, so it comes off very easily. And use scissors or a craft knife to cut this off. Okay, so now I've pulled off the backing paper, removed it, I've exposed the adhesive side of the vinyl. That's what's going to stick down on the surface. So now you have to be careful how you let this go down onto your surface. You want to control that. So I always start from the tape edge, the hinged edge, and roll that down. And then I'll take my squeegee and give it a burnish. Now I can remove the tape because it's secure on the surface. Save that tape for later. Okay. Now I'm going to flip this back on the other side. So this here now is like my hinge. Peel this back. Always notice how I peel at a 180-degree angle. And again, just kind of controlling this down on the surface. This is a small pattern, but you always want to take care because once it sticks, it's there. So you really have to, focus on this whole process. It's easy. It's just a matter of simple steps to do it right and be successful. So now that it's installed, I'm going to peel the transfer tape back. The vinyl is our white mask that I'm using, and this is the most common type of vinyl that we use. It's like a paint mask. It's easily removable, but because the glass is so smooth, it really bonds and sticks really well to the glass. So notice how I'm trying also not to touch the glass as much as possible with my fingertips. And then when that's done, you can put the backing paper back down and go over that and burnish that again. Okay, so our Modelo pattern is successfully installed, and now we are going to get ready to etch.